Hi, Paul Slackus, Good News Broadcast. I'm speaking to Enid Borden. Hi, Enid. How are you?
I'm great, Paul. How are you doing?
All right, good. I'm always happy when I get the opportunity to speak with you. There, President and Chief Executive Officer of Meals on Wheels. Actually, the last time I think we spoke with you, there was a great campaign with Walmart. Wasn't that so?
Absolutely, and that's still ongoing. We love our friends at Walmart.
There we go. And I know you have lots of good friends because Meals on Wheels is such an important organization. Tell us about the organization.
Yeah, we do have lots of good friends. We're blessed to have that. We're a great organization. I mean, there are 5,000 Meals on Wheels programs throughout the United States. They serve in excess of 1 million meals a day. Now, that's an enormous amount. However, that's the good news. The bad news is, Paul, we figure we need about 2 million meals a day more to meet the need. And that may even be growing now. I mean, the economy is so bad. So it's a great organization. We have great volunteers. There are 1.7 million volunteers. I think we have the largest volunteer army of any nonprofit in the United States, maybe the world. It's a great organization. I love Meals on Wheels. I'm biased. I'm prejudiced. I adore it, but they do good work. You know, I was thinking, if you look at the word grassroots in the dictionary, next to it should be Meals on Wheels, because there's nothing more grassroots than Meals on Wheels. It's a totally community-based program.
Uh-huh. Are women, do you serve more women than men, or how does that work?
Well, because there are more women. I mean, we are the majority, and we outlive the men. And so when you extrapolate that out, we probably serve more women, just for the virtue of the numbers, you know.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
And this program right now, so how does somebody want to help Meals on Wheels besides volunteering? Is it financial? Do they go to a website? How does that?
Absolutely. And you mentioned before the friends, one of our newest friends is the Gallo Family Vineyards. They are sponsoring our Meals for Moms campaign, which is a terrific campaign. Our website is mealsformoms.org. You know, what we decided was that because the preponderance of the folks are women, let's take one day of the year, Mother's Day. It's a happy day for everybody. We love our moms. But, you know, there are lots of moms out there that are alone and lonely and hungry. So let's look at Mother's Day and raise public awareness, at least on that day, for all those hungry moms out there. So our friends at Gallo came to us, and we've launched this website where we're looking for 50,000 messages of hope. In other words, you go to the site, and you can send a card and hopefully a meal to a homebound senior. Let that senior know that we stand with them, that we stand by them, that we stand for them. You can also go to this website and send a free e-card bouquet. You can literally build a bouquet and send it free to a special woman in your life.
Uh-huh. Oh, it's all gorgeous.
Yeah, it's nice.
I don't think there's anything wrong with a glass of wine either, I'll tell you that.
I'm drinking one right now.
Yeah. I have a heart doctor that tells me to have one every day.
Hey, listen, go to work for Gallo. Yeah, it's a good thing. And I'm just very proud of the partnership with them because they really stepped up and they said, you know, we hear you, we understand the problem, what can we do to help? And so that's what they're doing, and I applaud them.
Now, as far as meals, is it breakfast, lunch, dinner, or is it all lunches? What type of meals have you provided over the years?
You know, I wish it were breakfast, lunch, and dinner because, Paul, when you think about it, today you and I get the choice. We'll eat breakfast, we'll eat lunch, we'll eat dinner, or if we choose not to, we won't. But we say to seniors who are on Meals on Wheels that, you know, you don't usually get that choice. The money's just not there. And usually we serve one meal a day, 5 days a week. So while you and I are going to eat or have the choice to eat 21 meals this week, we say to a senior, you get 5. Now, that's the very least we can do. If we had the money, and we know that we should be eating more than one meal a day, at least 2 meals a day. So, I mean, it's a problem we have. We know that we'd like them to eat more, but we also know that we have waiting lists in America. We have people who are literally on a waiting list waiting for a meal. Paul, you and I know if you're 85 years old and you're on a waiting list, how long can you wait?
So how does that? I was going to ask that. Why? So the government does not provide, or this is a way. Why? Why is it not? Why isn't everybody being fed? I guess through government.
Well, Meals on Wheels. There's a misnomer here. Meals on Wheels is not a federally funded program. No. There are many programs that receive federal dollars, but not nearly enough. But most of these programs have to do their own local fundraising, so they'll have a bake sale or a car wash and those kinds of things. The federal government is not going to provide these meals. It's our Meals on Wheels programs. The federal government provides limited funding for this. And that is how it's always been. It's a program under what's called the Older Americans Act, and it's limited funding. It's not 100%. It's not nearly 100%. It's probably about 29%. And our programs have to go out and raise the money. So we need people to donate, because when you donate to a Meals on Wheels program, you're really investing not in our future or our past. You're investing in our country. Remember, these seniors are the ones who are our mothers and our fathers and our grandparents.
Sure.
They're our veterans. They're the ones who served this country. We owe them nothing less. We have a moral obligation to make sure that these people are fed.
So somebody that thinks that the government makes it available for everybody to have a meal if they can't get a meal, that's a misnomer.
It really is. It really is.
Okay, that's important, because that's the mindset, that needs to be fixed. Because what you're saying is that they're not getting a meal, and that's a very big concern, because hunger is not a good way to live a life, because you don't live a life when you're hungry, right?
That's right. Most people think that the three basic necessities to life are food, shelter, and clothing. And I would argue with that. I think it's food, water, and air. You cannot live without those three. You could live without the clothing. You can't live without food. You cannot live without water. You certainly can't live without air. So food, we cannot live without food. You starve to death. We don't want, not in this country, nobody, in any country, quite frankly, nobody should starve to death. Nobody should be hungry.
You're actually also saying hello to a person, too. So I imagine, unfortunately, there's been times, is this so? Correct me if I'm wrong. Have you gone to a house and actually somebody was sick or worse?
Oh, there's no question. Our volunteers have gone to homes, knocked on the door, found that nobody responded, looked through a window and saw them lying on the ground. Yes,
right.
We are people. We are more than a meal. We are the people who say, hello, how are you? And, every senior has a story, and they're alone, and they want to tell those stories. And a volunteer can hear stories. It's so nourishing, and it's so rewarding for both parties, for the receiver and the giver.
Well, those are, I got goose pimples already, because that's what Good News Broadcast is all about. That's sharing those stories, sharing that volunteer going there, changing, in essence, their own life, right?
You bet. It does. It changes lives. It's a wonderful, wonderful program. I'm totally biased, but it is it's a lifesaver. Let
me ask you one last question. I know you have a lot of people to announce this Gallo outreach, and with Mother's Day coming up, Meals for Mom campaign. Mm-hmm. What's the good news for you?
The good news for me is that people are listening. The good news for me is that people really care about helping other people, and that is good news. And the other good news, we live in America. We live in a nation rich, not just with wealth, but with volunteers, with compassion, and with courage. That's what we need. We need courage to solve these problems. And it's good news that we live in America. It really is. Every day is good news to be here.
Let me ask you just one last question, because I'm looking at the website. Can I send a Mother's Day gift to somebody else?
You certainly can, and I hope you do. Go on our website. You can absolutely do that. I don't have a mother, but I believe in Mother's Day, and I will send a gift to somebody else in honor of my mother.
Okay, beautiful. Enid, you're wonderful. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.